Hello everyone, Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. Today I am starting a series called Flashback Friday. This series was born of my realization that I tend to use a lot of my older product in my videos. And in 2021, my goal is to concentrate more on our close to my heart new products. But I still love to use those older things that I have in my stash. So I thought I should come up with some designated video time so that I can share those products with you to encourage you to use your products that you have stashed. This is a little album that I'm putting together for my girlfriend. By the time this video airs in January of 2021, she will have already received this album. So I thought I'd better get it videoed before I hand it off to her. This is a little photo album, and the reason it qualifies for Flashback Friday is because this album is a little kit that was from Heidi Swapp. I picked it up at Michael's approximately 5 years ago. It has been swimming around from box to bin in my craft stash for all of these years. I finally thought I'll never use it. I'm going to throw it in the bin where I'm saving products to sell at a garage sale with my mom. Unfortunately, the last 2 years we haven't been able to have the garage sale, which is to benefit, we are benefiting the honor flight for those veterans to go out and see the memorials in Washington, D.C. But 2 years ago my mom had flooding, so she couldn't do it then. And this year, 2020, of course, was everything got wiped out and canceled. So here we are, and I thought I would do a quick flip through. I have not added the photos yet. I will add them when I get them, which will be before I leave to go see her. So here we have the front of the little Heidi Swapp album, and I will tell you, this thing was originally $14.99, and I got it out of the clearance bin for $4.99, which is why I bought it. I thought, $4.99, can't pass that up. So I'm using it. I pulled it out of the bin of things to sell at the garage sale because I thought this is a perfect little way to make this happen. This is one of those, it was a kit that's meant to use with your cinch to bind the end of the kit. And I do have the Heidi Swapp cinch machine, so when I bought it I knew I could use it, but when and if. So here we are. I took a piece of our paper that was from the last catalog, must have been the September, October catalog. Really pretty, lots of sunflowers, very fallish. And I just backed this little smile piece here, and I attached it to one of the clear acetate pages that was a part of the kit. On the back side, I just covered that up so you didn't see the back side of that smile, and added a couple of photo spots. Then here was another page, and I think this is really supposed to be the cover, but I didn't put it together right. So I thought, that makes a cute cover. I'll use that. This little word play was a part of the kit. It was in there floating around. I backed it on some of my stash close to my heart acetate with some gold foiling on it. And then I backed that with another piece. This is one of our new thin cuts here that I thought added some nice texture to make this. This was kind of a craft color hardboard, and I took a dauber of some distressing from Tim Holtz, and I just rubbed it on there and colored it brown. And Then I added some of our Dina Wakley gloss spray. So I used the cheddar, and I also used lime. We're from Wisconsin, my girlfriend and I, and who this is going to, she represents Wisconsin and Oklahoma, and so I used some Packer colors, good, bad, or otherwise. There they are. I also did some other like Heidi Swapp spray that I had in my stash, and I also took some of our little pearl, I don't know what you call it. It's like you can make little dots and things with it, but I just rubbed it on there. I also rubbed on some of our solar flare, and I'm not sure what this is stickles. It's just a big thing, and it's meant to go on stencils, but I just took some and rubbed it on there. This is a thin cut. It is the Stitch Scallop Brackets. And so I used that as a thin cut. Espresso paper, I don't remember. This is one of our greens. Here, this is sapphire paper, and I used some of our, this is a little 6x6 packet of paper. They took the September, October, November, December paper pack designs from 2019, and they took those, the 12 by 12 design, and they resized them so that they would be the appropriate size on a 6x6, and you can buy a little 6x6 pad of paper with all of those same designs, and I liked a lot of those designs, so I picked that up and I just started hacking up little bits and pieces and sprinkling it through the project. This is another clear acetate, and I just put some photo mats on there. They're 4x6 in size. I'll trim my photos down just a little bit so I get a little bit of a matting on there. This is also a little banner piece, and I will stamp a little something on there. I covered it up, added a little bit of ribbon from my stash just to give it some texture. This is the December 2020 stamp of the month that I used. I just stamped it on there with some Stays On ink, because Stays On will stay on a slick surface and it won't mush and rub off. It dries on there and it stays. You can see I'm rubbing it and it's staying. And then again, I used the same stitched bracketing. I just cut one in half, glued it on the top and the bottom to give a place so that you know that you're supposed to pick it up, because it's clear, it's hard to see. On this page, this was more of a white background, and I took Desert Rose, so some Desert Rose ink, and I took an ink brush, blending brush that I have, and I just rubbed it on there and rubbed it on there. And I thought that was a nice way to add a little color to that page. On this side, I did the same thing, only I used the sapphire ink, some craft paper. The stitched scallop circle die is so cute, and I love it. And so I just cut one in half and put half in half. And again, that same little pattern paper from the 6x6 pad. Some more of those stitched brackets, and I backed the today on this little, it's just a little, this was a part of the kit. This came with it. It's a little banner shape. And I just put some of the pattern paper, and then I backed it with some other pattern paper, and again that stitched bracket. I tend to try to stick with some of the same elements throughout a project like this. Some more craft paper, that stitched bracket again, some of the sage paper, and then I carried that over. This is the sage ink. I did the same thing. I used a brush and I brushed on some color. And then here I went back to the Desert Rose paper, and then just took these little pieces of paper and bannered ended them with my scissors and threw a little 4x4 mat in craft on top. Here I backed with the craft and used the sage and just ran strips of the paper along there to give it a little covering. And when you get to the back side, you can see here a little more clearly This is that same brown colored distress ink. It's in a dauber, and I just rubbed it all over. And then I put some of the spray again, the Dina Wakley spray. And yeah, again, the lime and the cheddar. And this time I just rubbed the solar flare. I took some and just smeared it on there with my finger just to give it that beautiful glittery look there. So that's it. I'm going to throw some photos in here. I'm going to wrap it up and give it to her as a little early Christmas gift. And I wanted to video it for you guys so you could see that you can dig those things out of your stash and you can use them up. It did not take me very long, maybe a day of back and forth with it. This is a project that I will circle around. I will get started on it, and then I'll walk away from it for a while, and I will come back and I will add some more to it, and then I kind of you just get going. Once you sort of break that initial slump that you might be having when you're looking at a project like this, then all of a sudden it just sort of starts to happen, and you can find elements that you can repeat and work your way through it, and you have a finished project. And that's the goal here. Get that stuff out of your stash and use it up. Share it and give it to someone that you love. So thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed and crafty day, and I will see you next time.